Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and welcome to today's call. My name is Paul Davis, and I am the MD of RRS, and I would like to welcome you. A couple of updates to start us off with. We are progressing quicker than we expected with the T's and C's for all the different countries, which is good. And we're hoping to have everything done and dusted within the next 30 days. We're going to have an open forum call today with a few special guests. So the people that we've invited to the call, if you could pop into the studio, we'll introduce you and we'll all jump on. But as always, we've got our great partner, David Cutler, with us. Hi, David. How are you today?
Good, but cold, but otherwise I'm doing wonderful. Good to see everybody.
Fantastic. Now, Dave had a couple of events last week, which he went to, which he's going to give us an update on and let us know how it all went. Some very exciting and interesting things were going on with him. So I'm going to hand it over to Dave as we wait for the other people to drop into the studio. And then once we've got everyone in the studio, I'll pop back on and introduce everyone, and then everyone can come in and we'll have an open discussion. So if you've got any questions for anyone that's on the call, please put them into the comments, or any of us here at Ripple, please put them into the comments and we'll go through and we'll answer the questions as we go. All right, Dave, I'll hand it over to you.
All right, thanks, Paul. Appreciate it. Welcome, guys. Welcome to the call. Obviously, you've got a lot to kind of get through this morning quickly because we want to do a open format. The open format, guys, is designed for you to get any questions, but more important, we want some input from individuals that have been out there building their teams. Remember, this is a typical team building event, and without a team you can sometimes get left behind, and we do not want that to happen to our core leaders and the people that are involved in the call. So it's so important for you guys to understand building teams is what this is about. And the reason being, guys, is we have not got into full details yet, but there is a commission structure that is built on the advertisement as well as on the subscription membership subscriptions. So I know this is not a typical, say, network marketing product that you would sell, and there's an affiliate fee and stuff like that, but you've got an incredible reward on this, and it's longevity. It is passive income that just comes naturally from somebody. Now, before we go into too many details about what's happened this weekend, let's quickly address what we're talking about. And we've had conversations with this week with some very high profile individuals. If you are going into a free game and you're getting free miles, if you let me whoa, that would come out completely wrong. I'm sorry. If you're going to get on an airplane and take a flight and you have a free flight, it means that sometime down the road you've had to purchase a flight to get them frequent flyer miles that then you can turn into an actual flight. Okay, I mean, we all know it. If you're going to go and use your credit card to get a reward points, you got to spend on the credit card. If you've got to go out and stay at a hotel, Hilton Honors or IHG Holiday Inn, you've got to spend money to get points to take advantage of the free system. Guys, listen up. With our system, you do not have to spend any money at all. So that's number one. Number two, why would you want to spend any money in a subscription plan? Okay, well, if you're getting, say, for argument's sake, $200 worth of groceries each month because you've spent $1.99 on a subscription plan, then common sense says, hey, I'm getting $200 and it's costing me $2, or I'm getting $200, it's costing me $10. It's the individual person that's going to look at it. So, of course, without you guys knowing all of the details like I know, because obviously Paul's giving me his input and then I am building the back end for you, there's going to be hundreds and hundreds of bid items, most probably into the thousands of bid items that people are going to take advantage of it. There'll even be bid items that more than one person, it might say the top 5 bidders are entitled to these 2 weeks of groceries. So guys, there's amazing stuff coming along on the back end. But we need to make it clear in all of our calls and our trainings that the subscriptions is what you would take advantage of if you want to. Now, the maximum in the subscription plan, I announced last week and said it was going to be $49. There is actually an $89 subscription plan. So first of all, some of you might say $89. No, stop. I just said to you, to get on an airplane, you got to do the flight to get the miles. With us, you'll always be able to get free points. You'll be able to get free points from signing up people. You'll be able to get free points from playing in the Magic game. Okay, not only playing in the Magic game, but winning in the Magic game. Two different things. So you get points just for playing, and you get points. Now, it may be only toilet paper you want to do, but you may have 6 or 7 points that you bid on, and you get 36 rolls of toilet paper. Remember, we are focusing on the day-to-day necessities of what a person needs. What is a necessity? A necessity may be something that this week you can't afford because you got to go short. Maybe it's something you've wanted to try. Maybe it's something that is important to the family, like hygiene, but the money has just not been available. Remember the concept, guys. We have a brand new twist on something that has been very, very successful. That is building points for a non-profit or non-profits that are going to benefit from the auction site to get their product immediately. So guys, I wanted to come out with this before we started, because I know as a lot of people get on these calls, the first thing is like, well, you know, what do I have to do? How much money do I have to spend to get some kind of result? Here is your result. You don't have to spend any money at all. And you're going to need to just spend a little bit of time each day to go and bid on items that you've got points from. The more you spread it, the more points you get. Remember, you get 5 points for every sign up. And then at 25 sign-ups, you get 25 points more as a bonus. So guys, it's a pretty simple system to get enough points. However, this will be something that once you start bidding in the auction, once you start seeing the stuff show up on your doorstep, you're going to want to share it with your next door neighbor. You're going to want to share it with your family members. You want to share it with anybody, because it is better than money. It's because you don't have to put anything into it apart from a little bit of time to get a result. Now, guys, we wanted to touch base quickly on last week. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a screen share very quickly here before we bring everybody on the call, and kind of give you an update on a couple of different things of what we've been doing. And I want to share that with you right here. So right now, if Justin, if you can give me a heads up, let me know you can see my screen, that would help me.
Yes, we can.
Okay. Can you also tell me if you can see that screen when I switch over to that?
Yes.
Perfect. I'm going to play a quick video, guys, that we're going to do right now. Let's say Doctors Without Borders. Hold on 1 second. Let me know if you can hear the volume.
Yes, we can hear it.
This is not camp. This is prison. We not go back, because if we go back, it's a big problem.
All right. So, guys, we're going to come back to this, but we want you to know that we've been working on piles and piles of stuff. You know, we've got different things from Princess Cruises. So this is going to be a format that you guys are going to be able to make money on financially, as well as points. So we'll talk about that in a while. So let's talk about what happened this weekend, or sorry, last weekend. For those of you who don't know, it was the Super Bowl. The Super Bowl is a major event, and from what I understand after last week's call or meetings, that the Super Bowl eventually will be a worldwide event where countries will be starting to participate. In fact, there is talk and rumors that they're going to be going to Kenya and playing their games this upcoming season, meaning later this year. The NFL is now spreading the wings further. They've gone to Mexico, then they went to London. From London, they went to Germany, and now they're starting to go into Africa, because that's really awesome, because what I'm going to share with you. Bottom line to deal is the Super Bowl was won by the Kansas City Chiefs, which I'm sure if you've been following it, you understand was a rough week for their prayers. Goes out to all the people victims of the shooting in their parade. What an unbelievable event, but prayers out to those individuals. The opportunity last week appeared for me because of my friendship with Gerard from Black Tie Magazine and, of course, Joyce and Gerard run it. So they asked me, because I was in Vegas and they were very busy scheduled, could I go to Lee Steinberg's event, Super Bowl event? It's his 37th annual event. And as you can see, if you don't know who he is, please make sure you read this article and go through and see what he done. He does incredible work, but that is Lee himself. I had a chance to sit with him, well, not sit down, but we spoke at a table for approximately 20 minutes during the event, which was so cool for him to come on and talk. He is a true person that believes in visionary and he believes in doing what he's doing. Remember, he's been doing this for 37 years. So Lee is very supportive of anybody that is doing something. We have got his verbal words that he will support what we've got, and we can go from there, meaning that he will open the doorways to many different people. So there were so many different people there. If you know any of these names, there was just a tremendous amount. Unfortunately, people like Drew Brees, they were in and out in the first 10 minutes, gone. Rob Wrigley. So some of these names you may recognize, you may not. So I had the opportunity. This is Bill Walsh, which you can see. And if you don't know what he does, please make sure you read this. Bill has been a friend of Black Tie Magazine for multiple years. I had a chance to meet Bill most probably about 5 or 6 years ago, a couple of different events. And of course, he lives here in Vegas, which I did not know to this week. We are having lunch this upcoming week where to see how he can get into support of. He was the biggest sponsor of this event as they went through. A couple of other different people on here that we had chance with. Obviously, you know some of these people. Perhaps you do, perhaps you don't. That's Rob. I mean, you know him from TV shows. But where I wanted to get to, guys, is this picture here. So sorry that it's not as focused as we would hope, but Jason Cripp and obviously myself, Juan, and Al, these are NFL players retired into the alumni. This gentleman, Jackson here, Jackson is somebody that runs the NFL alumni that we are planning to have more than one meeting this upcoming week. We've already been backwards and forwards this week in the past, and now what's going to happen is we're going to be sitting down and going into the further steps. The alumni is a different division all around the country, so we do expect to sign up different NFL alumni to be part of this program. Now that is different than the NFL. Please don't go out and tell anybody that we are partnering with the NFL. That is a little bit not correct at the moment. We do hope that happens. The NFL is a non-profit organization, but the alumni are obviously from the retired players that need support. In fact, to be honest with you, NFL would not be the way it is today if it wasn't for the old timers. If it wasn't for them going out and doing what they're doing, where some of the laws and things weren't put in play, you know, protection against their heads and wearing the right helmets and things like that. The old timers is what made it happen. Well, the alumni is going to be very supportive in Ripple, guys. This is a huge event. These two individuals, also so you're aware, Jason, the gentleman here on the left, that's and this is Jamie. Jason is the person who won the competition this event. He won a box at the NFL, the Super Bowl. I believe it was for 20 people, so that was worth about $100,000, and I believe he also won $10,000 in cash. This gentleman here is still a player, professional player, and he's the largest poker player with the largest pot. He won 10 million plus in one particular game, so he's made history. We have had conversations with both of these this week. Again, this upcoming week, they want to start seeing how we can do a tournament. So what we're going to do is work with 360 Win, because 360 is our partner, and that's the poker side of it. But we plan to have a laid out schedule of this upcoming tournament, which means people will be able to play in the tournament play with these guys, their friends, a lot of people from this event. And let me tell you guys, there was a lot of people at this event. This went on for 6 hours. It was just amazing. This is Ethan, who come in second. Obviously, being from the Asian background, even though he's out of California, it opens up a lot of doors for us to go Asian wise with this. So poker's a big thing for a lot of people. Personally, I don't really kind of get involved in it. I played a couple of games over my lifetime, but these two individuals are going to be doing a tournament for Ripple. Now, of course, we can't do the tournament till we get everything completed, and there's a lot going on with the back end of our site. So currently, guys, you're only going to be seeing this. Okay, when you log into your site, you will be getting a notification. Okay, up here there is a notification about what's going on, so please keep an eye on that. We are having challenges on the email server. A lot of it we are backing up and finding out that your emails have been used in a different account, and because we're using the same email company server to send out, what it's doing is it's creating a problem for us. So we're not 100% sure which is the best solution. We know there's 3 or 4 solutions available for us, but we believe that what it's going to be is we're going to combine the 2 email accounts together so we don't have any problems here in real time. But anyway, that's what's been going on for us on the back end. Now, let's move forward on the advertising. So I'm going to show you a couple of quick advertisers, because guys, when we go live, it's all about eyeballs that see the advertisements. We get paid for the eyeballs, and the eyeballs that see it is the money. What comes from that goes into the auction site for you guys to bid on your items. So as you can see, looking down here, we have many different things that we're working on already. It's obviously different products. There's God's Pit Cruise. So if you don't know what some of these are, we have them. So we are going to be announcing next week this one week.
And after talking to Shonda, I just knew with tears in my eyes, we had just told Cookie and Steve that we were going to rebuild their house, and such a burden come on to me that the tears was weeping. I was crying so hard.
So you can see how they work, guys. They're really simple. There are 8 to 15 seconds. We did originally say 12. We've upped it because there's a couple of different things we wanted to do. But you can see again from here how simple they are. 15 seconds is here because it's got a So that's what you're kind of supporting, guys. So you've got a general idea. So as these ads are run and what are put together in the ads, you're going to watch that and get rewarded with points. Okay, that's it. It's that simple. When you get rewarded with the points, they're going to come over here into the different categories. And we've actually got a new look to this right now that we have not pushed. So as you can see, we turned off things. We were just over 4,100 signups. However, out of the 4,100 signups, we were at 2,866 of people that had clicked confirm their email. So obviously that means there's about 1,200 roughly people that had not got the email. So we're trying to figure out what's the best thing we can do to get them people involved. Guys, the way this is going to work is when we reopen the site, and as we are working on the terms and conditions, like Paul said, they're doing great on the terms and conditions, but they still have got us saying, look, expect up to 30 days. So even though they're moving along really, really quickly and doing what they need to do in different countries. However, you guys will be able to see the back end here. We're going to most probably push some stuff next week so you guys can see the differences. Obviously, it's grayed out, which means you can't click on it until you get to where we need to go. The first thing what we're going to be focusing on is obviously the game. Once the game opens up, it's now pretty well set now from an app over to our site. What will happen is we will be able to when I say from an app, it was in a phone app, the Magic game. It's now web-based, so nobody anywhere around the world will have a problem. They can't say, hey, I've got an old device, I can't download the app, or my phone doesn't take the size of the app. It's all web-based, as well as a new app that we started developing already will be there for people to have. So you'll have an option to go either way. So of course you've got the Magic game, which will come first, and then you go in and play in here. When you click on the different numbers, they're going to give you points, and if you win, you get points. So guys, 5 points, you sign up. 175 times 5 is 875 points. Then you match. For every 25 signups you get another 25 points. So it's kind of doubling down on what you've got. However, what will happen is you've got charity banners, promotional banners, and a lot more. This will double in size as you see it coming out. So guys, that is extremely close that we'll be pushing that. We do not want to push everything at once, but all you 2866, you are our pioneers. Okay, the site is completely turned off now. You cannot sign up. There's a page, informational at the front page, telling you that you were under registration closure at the moment. You 2866 will have the opportunity starting next week to go and do some testing. We asked you and told you about an auction site that we want you to test on. You will have that hopefully latter part of the week. We will go live and we will put a notification in here saying, guys, go ahead and do your auction testing. The auction testing is going to give real prizes. So you'll have the opportunity to bid on what you want in that auction. If you don't feel that there's something there yet, don't panic. It's for us to test, and it is going to have some basics in there, necessities of what you need. So guys, there's a lot coming on the back end, so you're aware of it. But truly what's happened is, because of the relationship that we have built and where we're going, I want to give you all a recap, literally tell you how big this thing is. Everybody knows about these reward programs. Okay, they're out there. It's not a first rodeo. Everybody I spoke to at the event, and I went to a dinner that night. I also went to an event on the Friday night. Literally, guys, I am not kidding you. Everybody is so taken back. Like, okay, so you mean each time somebody plays, they are winning something, but at the same time, a national charity is making points or making money, whichever way you want to look at it? And the answer is yeah. So guys, if you're not grasping this yet, and if it's not really sunk into you, for the first time ever in history, you're giving and receiving at the same time. Okay, I know that sounds a little crazy maybe, but you got to think about this and think about how big this thing's getting. Okay, and I mean, it's getting big. We got already advertisers coming on just because they want to give product to put into the auction site, because they want to do their part. But you as playing are receiving points that are going to turn out into the things you want, number one. But every time you're playing, you are doing exactly the same for a charity. That's not been heard of. Usually you're asked to donate money to a charitable cause. And most people try to donate, and a lot of people can't afford to donate, so they have to take a pass. In this deal, in this program, you're not doing that. You're literally playing to improve your life. But why you're doing that is improving charities on whatever their charity organization is, whether it's, cleaning up the oceans of the world, or whether it is going on and supporting Cancer Society, or what. It doesn't matter what it is, but you're doing your part. And when everybody's been hearing this through the meetings this week and really grasping and understanding exactly what this is different. Okay, it's like anything that's different, you've got to really get to understand it and understand what's going on. So guys, we're excited where we are, what's happened this week already. Like I said, we have a subscription plan for those who would take advantage of it. That's up to the individual. It's not coming yet. But let's just say you play in the weekly game and you say, hey, I'm getting enough points and I'm willing to gamble. Wrong word. I'm willing to invest $2 in the subscription to see how many more points I get, or $9 a month to get more points to bid more things. That's going to be something that's in your control, not the company's. In other words, you don't have to do that to be to be a winner, right? You can win just off the basic program. However, off them subscription plans, we're going to be paying a residual commission. So when you sign people up, building a team, which is what it's all about. And we asked some people to come on today on the call that have gone out and done incredible already. You know, a lot of people just sign up people and forget about them. And they kind of let them, you know, they'll drop an email and drop a YouTube link, and then they forget about them. And the stars, the ones who will go and sign up people, then they kind of focus on them people. Guys, this is to help people daily in their lives. People are struggling, their necessities. So this makes it a little bit different, because you can educate them and say, listen, if you've already won 36 rolls of toilet paper, or if you already won a food basket, or you already won a hygiene basket, for your investment of $2 or $5 or $10 or whichever, and they're all broken down in subscriptions. And the reason there's a high one in there, guys, you'll find out it's all to do with the advertisement. That is pretty impressive. Once you know that you're getting, you know, $1,000 of groceries or necessities each month, $89 is not a lot of money, but you wait till you get there. But just so you're all aware, there is a subscription commission that has been approved by Paul. We've had it checked with the attorneys that it can be done as a referral bonus. And it's going to be something that's month after month. So that's exciting for you guys, as news has been confirmed. The other thing is, on the advertisers, for the people to go into the site, there's also, so this week we're going to be discussing that in a couple of trainings. So guys, that's really all I wanted to bring you up to date with. Paul asked me, the code is going along very, very well where we are. We have to be a little bit cautious at the moment, due to the fact is we don't want to do something and then they say that can't be done. So the more input we get each week from the attorneys and from Paul, the more we can get finished. But it is looking like Magic will roll out, the auction site will roll out, the banners will roll out pretty quickly as soon as we kind of get the green light. And then we'll do the testing, which you pioneers are going to be the testers. You're going to get a little gift coming for doing that. You will go out and you will bid on these items. So guys, thank you for the work you've done. Thank you for the support. We're going to open up now. I believe we got some guest speakers coming on, so I'm sure Paul's going to come on and introduce them. Paul, I think I've covered enough I dare cover at the moment, with going out, you know, without getting contracts in place and having live speakers coming on for us. I mean, I don't think I dare go any further at this stage, but hopefully that's enough, unless you want me to. I mean, I can cover Ron Brown very quickly if you want me to cover that. That's up to you.
We'll come back to Ron Brown as a closeout, because we have got guest speakers, and one of them, I know he has his own things to do, so I don't want to take up too much of his time. So we've got 3 individuals that I'm going to ask to come on and join us, and these people are at the top of the leaderboard for Rewards Ripple. They've done a lot of things in all our other projects. It's always a pleasure to have these guys around and about us, because they believe in the charity side of everything that we do. They're like-minded like we are, and you know, they just want to try and make things just that little bit better for the individuals of the world. And you know, it's a great pleasure that I'm going to bring these guys on. So we have, I'm sure you'll all know these names. We've got Graham, we've got Kelly, and we've got Peter. So, hi Graham, how are you doing? We've got Kelly. Hi Peter, how are you?
Hello, good morning.
Hi
Can
there.
you hear me?
Yeah, always doing great, Paul. I don't allow myself to be any other way.
Good morning.
Can you hear me?
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go round. So we'll start with Graham, because I know, Graham, you do have a bit of time restraint, because you've got your We Share Abundance, which is an absolutely fantastic program in itself. Yeah, just tell us a little bit about you, and you know, what you do, and you know what you think of Ripple and the way we're going, and the future plans and things like that.
Okay. Well, what I do is I look for ways to help other people, particularly in third world countries. And that's what We Share Abundance is about. And that's what originally attracted me to Avazu. And from Avazu, of course, I got involved with Ripple. And I wanted to give people the opportunity of being part of this amazing reward plan. And so I simply made it available to people through membership of We Share Abundance. They can actually build their own team, because we have a downline builder in there, and rewards Ripple we put into that downline builder, so that people, once they join up, they put their name in, and then anybody they introduce to We Share Abundance, and they go through the downline builder, they can join Rewards Ripple, and it'll be under them. So it helps them build their team, but it's a great opportunity for people. I know there's people out there in that third world. I get messages from them day after day, hundreds of them, literally hundreds of them, people that are struggling for a few dollars. And unfortunately, you know, we don't have the money to just hand out to everybody. But through this Rewards Ripple, these people will be able to put food on the table, and they'll be able to get those essentials that they're missing. And potentially that can then free up a little bit of their cash to do other things with, rather than struggling to just always pay for food. If they've got some food coming in from this amazing rewards program, they've got other options that they can use their cash for. So it can help people in an awful lot of ways. And
but Graham, at the same time, they're actually, that this is what I got from this event when I was sharing it with people. They're like, okay, so you're getting taken care of, but you're also taking care of a charity that's taking care of other people. That twist to this program is what's making this unique. So some people, like you say, in third world countries, or even in America, they can't afford to take care of themselves, but they feel upset, ashamed, embarrassed that they can't help in other people. I see it all the while in downtown areas across the US where there's the hunger. You know, when you go up and give somebody a hot hamburger or some French fries or whatever it is, you know, the first thing you see them do, or I see them, is they share it with the other homeless. It's amazing. When I've spoken to them, I've stood downtown in Las Vegas last week, and I asked people about this program, and they are so excited that, hey, obviously they want to get points to get their own stuff, whether it's coats or whatever it may be. But it's the part that, hey, I'm doing my part to help others. I don't know if you're getting any feedback from anybody, but that was the biggest thing that come out of all these people. Now, of course, I'm at an event that is all about, you know, donating and charity background and what they're doing. So it may be a different effect, but the light bulb last week went off to me so much that there is a reward inside your benefit. The reward is that you're doing something to help other people.
Yeah, well, I've not had the time to get any feedback from people about it. All I've spent time with is saying, look, get involved. It can do you some good. And hopefully it'll all fall into place anyway. But I apologize, but I've just been really, really so busy. We're launching 2 plans within We Share Abundance at the moment to help people, and it's taking up, 25 hours a day of my time, and I don't.
I understand that one most probably better than most people do.
Okay.
But listen, I mean, let's bring on. I mean, obviously you signed up Peter, and Peter got involved. And Peter, I know I believe you're here in Las Vegas, correct?
Yes, I'm in Las Vegas.
Okay, whereabouts, if you don't mind me asking? I'm downtown area. Where are you located?
Mountains Edge, Southwest area. Yeah. Okay,
cool. So maybe, because we keep talking about it, but finally we got a chance to be on a call together. We can maybe do a lunch or something. Got a busy weekend this weekend with the tournaments going on, and we're going over to actually Chris who is was part of Aptech Gateway. Some of you may remember Chris, and unfortunately, his son had a bad accident a couple of years ago and lost his leg in a skiing accident. But he is he's now in a wheelchair and he's in a tournament this weekend for basketball. So I'm going over to see him this weekend. But maybe next week, if you're available, we can get together and do some lunch or something. But my point is, you got signed up by Graham and you've come on board. Are you explaining yet to the team, or are you doing, which I'm doing, and I'm the first one to admit it, hey, look, worry about what it's all about later. Just get signed up now, get into the program. I mean, how are you doing it, if you don't mind me asking?
Thanks for having me on board, and thanks for giving me the opportunity to explain how I'm doing it. And Graham, thanks very much for bringing the opportunity to me, which is also which also has something to do with Avazu, where I'm also under you. I've known Graham for more than 20 years, but maybe he doesn't know me, but I've followed him in most of the stuff that he does. I'm also on board with him there in We Share Abundance, and I do see what he does, and I do my best in my own way to support him. In the things that I do in my ordinary day life, I do involve myself in a lot of things that is about helping people and bringing more value to themselves and charity organizations. And I was more than happy to see such opportunities like Avazu that are bought fully into the vision and committed, and I'm on board, as you noticed, through my engagement and activity. And when Ripple Rewards came on board, I said, wow, this is another opportunity that I can use to help people without them necessarily spending money out of their pocket, especially from the so-called third world countries where they all struggle. I'm involved in all those areas too. So picked the vision. I did my due diligence, seeing the caliber of people that are behind the project, and studied it, understood it, and I decided to bring it to all the people that I know, starting with the contacts that I have on my phone. I said, this is something that's great, can help people, and I'm committed to it. Join me and let's support the cause. I create my own information pages explaining to people using the videos that have already been created, and I explain to them. There are some that have reached out to me with questions, and I answer them. The only thing that has failed to now is really being able to demonstrate to them how maybe the auction site works, because it's not live yet. But I do explain to those that have questions, and I think I can answer any of their questions if they come up with them. So that's how I'm going about it.
So, Peter, let me ask you this. First of all, congratulations on, obviously, the relationship with Graham. I mean, I don't know him 20 years. I feel like I've known him 50 years with the bond that we've got. Graham's an incredible heart and passion for helping people, which is, me and him have gone backwards and forwards on some different programs. And to be honest with you, if it doesn't help other people, Graham and myself, we're not interested in doing it. It sounds like you're on the same same train as we're on. But you've signed up close to 200 people. I think it's, last I looked, was like 196 or something. Are you running an ad, or is it literally just people you have in your phone book?
I have people in my phone book. I have people that have been with them in networking for over the years. So I reach out to them directly through email. And I also have some networks where people hang out looking for opportunities, especially for free, that I interact there and show them the opportunity.
Right. So we wanted to ask, Paul had said to me, hey, listen, let's find out from the people that are doing this. Is the fact that there's not a financial dollar reward or sterling pound or euros, is that an effect in the sign-up ratio in this? Like, now that we've got a commission or a referral bonus, I think we have to call it under a legal terminology, but is that going to make a difference? Are you finding that people aren't grasping that the product is really the reward and it's not a financial reward like a check or a residual money coming in? Are you having any problems with that?
So far, no. The only concern that I've had from people, especially from the developing countries, is how these products may reach them, because in some countries I know there are no addresses where you can physically deliver these services, these products. So that's the only concern they have, but they're all excited that they can at least participate in something that will bring them such value.
Yeah, I got to tell you something. We as code writers and people on the back side, we are, we brought to the table a few times that we're finding some countries you can't deliver to 100 Main Street with a zip code because that address doesn't meet there. So we are finding problems every day that is going to be challenging for deliveries. So I do, I spoke to Paul, and Paul said, obviously, depending where the company goes, but in the major cities around the world, we can most probably partner with a existing mail building or a computer shop that has a physical address that we can deliver to and people can pick up. So we are definitely having that same challenge, because it's not like living in America. You've got an address, you've got a zip code, you've got everything. So we're also finding them problems, and of course as we move forward, I'm sure it's going to get even more challenging. But so you're not getting any feedback from anybody in reference to, well, it's not really for me. And then when you ask them why, well, there's no money in it for me. You're not getting any of that kind of feedback.
Not yet. Everyone that I've shared with, that I've had the opportunity to interact with them verbally, they've expressed happiness and appreciation of the opportunity. Yes. Because,
well, I got to tell you, that is a blessing to my ears, because I was definitely concerned. Kelly, everybody knows who you are. We don't really have to introduce you, except for that you're like my sister. So, Kelly, how you doing? Obviously, you signed up a lot of people. You're up on the leaders board, which is really awesome. Tell me the difference, what you're coming across, if there is any difference. Are you having any challenging question? What are you guys hearing? That's what we're trying to find out today. So while we're down in this rebuild this site for the terms and conditions, what can we do to make it easier on you guys to get this word out and about around the world?
I think just the video, which is what we have already. That's the way that it looks like the three of us have been doing it as well, is outreaching even to cold core. We had some power line programs as well. We're being introduced to new people, so that we can also then be saying, hi, how are you? And introducing them as well to the free. They love the free. Everybody loves the free. The free makes it easy to join as well. But prior to that, it's also inviting them, hey, would you like to watch this video first? At the moment, because we're closed, I have a waiting list. So I'm still going out and promoting and saying, hey, I have something really amazing that's going to help everybody, including business opportunities. Can I share this information with you? I show them the video and I go, right, now can I put you on the waiting list? It's that follow-up also with who you're talking to, building that friendship, building the know, like, and trust. We have a WhatsApp group. I have a rotator. So I'm able to offer who joins me in this opportunity to go on a rotator, and where then I will personally be advertising for them as well. But I think the video to just say it's just sharing. It's not pitching. It's not promoting. It's just, hi, how are you? And then just say, I've got something really exciting to share with you. Do you mind having a look? And then show them the video, answer the questions, then give them your link. And then follow up.
Kelly, I mean, I was shocked. I mean, I'm sitting with professionals. These are people that have devoted their lives to a sport, to an income, taking care of their families. These are retired NFL players that truly have set the stage for where it is today. I mean, if it wasn't for them, we wouldn't be where we are today in NFL. And each and every one of them that I've spoken to and had a chance to go back to today, or this last couple of days, it's the fact that, you're giving, even though you're not taking out of your pocket, you're giving points that relate to once they grasp it and they understand it, it's like the light bulb goes off in seconds. Yeah. Are you getting that from any of your sign-ups yet, or have you not got into the training side? And by the way, I've just seen Rashad is on here. Mr. Jennings, I hope you're doing well, brother. God bless you. It was so good to see you last week. For those of you who don't know Rashad Jennings, He is on the chat box I can see here. If you don't know him, please make sure you find him on Instagram and TikTok. He's got some accounts there. He is a NFL ex-player, played for a couple of different teams. He's also Dancing with the Stars, and he is the host of the Avazu event. Of course, we're talking about Ripple today, but we had chance this week to sit down one-on-one and go through the Ripple program. And from the time I sat with him to the time I left, the body language, the smile on his face just increased, you know, as we went through it. And he's very excited about the program as well. So welcome, Rashad. But Kelly, going back to your question, are you getting anybody that is reacting yet in, okay, this is a non-profit, this is the one I want to share with? Are you getting anything like that? Are they fully understanding it?
They seem to be fully understanding it. They're just waiting. So as mentioned, we have the WhatsApp group where we communicate. I'm able to do the updates. I'm able to share the webinar links to the one group, so I'm not chasing around. I have had to chase a few people up for their links for the rotator, but everybody we're just waiting for the opening. So further trainings will come in time as we still set everything up with the rotator. But everybody understands that it's a point system. The fundraiser side of it, I find extremely exciting. As you're aware, I've already reached out to some school organizations for the fundraiser side of it. So that's really exciting. The business side of it, it's going to benefit everybody. So from the individual to a charity, and also the organizations coming on board. And even with the fundraiser, I love that part of it, especially because here in Australia, it's nearly 3 years later and still trying to recover. I see great benefits with this. Great
well, I mean,
benefits.
and here's the double spring. I think Graham's grasped this, because Graham is a perfect example that on his team, and that in that fundraising side, there's a 10% option there for the fundraising. That could go to We Share Abundance, Graham. I don't know if you've thought about that. You could set that up that all of your participants that you've signed up, as they win, we hope they win, or at least people they've signed up win, or their people win, you've got that 10% coming. We call it the foundation/vacation fund. We know everybody out there perhaps may not do a fundraiser, but that's a separate entity than that 50% that people are going to receive from whatever the points are. Now, remember, guys, there's a quick disclaimer here. Not everything will be a 50-50 split. We're leaving that door open, that we're saying 90% will be a split 50-50. For example, we might take on a non-profit organization that has a product or something that we may not take away 50% from you because they want the product to go to you. So we're saying 90% of everything you do, whether it's banner postings, survey postings. Now, remember, when you do a survey, you're not only doing a survey to get points, you're doing a survey to get a discount on that store. So if it's Subway, you know, you might get a free soda, you might get a free half sandwich, or you might get the second one for free, first order set. All of them will be under the different surveys. And we've also got now a couple of different hotel chains that are moving forward in the surveys as well, which is exciting. So you've just got to do a survey about it. You receive points, and then points give you the discount, say, on them hotels. They are going to be 50-50 split. But on some products, as people showcase it, you may not get everything that will be a 50-50 split, i.e. why that fundraising part is there. Kelly, are you getting any feedback on what non-profits are involved yet? Or Peter, are you getting any feedback on that?
I'm not certain on non-profits yet who are in it, other than from who were in it in the first stage before we became Ripple. That's the only knowledge I have on non-profit organizations.
So I would think what you just saw, Doctors Without Borders, that most probably excites you, doesn't it?
Yep. Anything with non-profit excites me.
But that is a very big organization out in Australia, from what I understand.
That's correct.
Yeah, we're putting a lot
Also-
of focus on. Go on.
Yeah, so Doctors Without Borders is national wide. I think they also go a little bit overseas as well. So I forgot Royal Flying Doctors. I think they
I
used
believe
to
we
be
also
called.
have that one. I know we focused a lot on Africa. What we don't want to do, unless Paul changes his mind, what we don't want to do is we want to be able to get to somebody that can actually do a result quickly. In other words, how do I word it? I want to be careful because we're on a recorded call. In other words, we wouldn't want to give points to somebody that they're only doing a something once a year. Okay, we want to get them points into charitable organizations that are saying, hey, today I can bid on a pallet of water, or today I can bid on clothes, or today I can bid on toiletries, or whatever it is, that then drop ship, whether it's in Kenya or Guyana or wherever it may be. That is our focus point, is working with nonprofits that really can get the result quickly. There's no time delay in this, with the amount of people that are signing up, and they take their option. So when you guys sign up, there will be a suggestion box of your charity. So before anybody asks, it's such and such a charity. We don't know all the charities around the world, but they are going to be reviewed. They are going to be looked at. Paul has got some concept and ideas what he's doing, and then they're going to be checked out that they're legitimate. What we don't want to do, guys, so you're all aware of this, anything on the fundraising side, that 10%, you can put down anybody you want to. What we don't want to do is have an organization come on and then they don't get enough points because we've got 1,000 charities there. So we will rotate them. And in fact, the round robin, when people get into the round robin, the orphans will also rotate between their nonprofits until they go in and change it to a charity, because we don't want just a bunch of people not get enough points to go and bid on something. Peter, have you got any nonprofit organizations that you have actually talked to yet about getting involved? Because Jim Wagner has already spoken to a couple of nonprofits, church groups, and the response has been overwhelming. What about you, Graham? Have you talked to any nonprofits yet? Anybody?
I haven't approached any nonprofit yet with Ripple Rewards.
Okay.
Nor have I. I've just not had time, but I do see me approaching Joey's Legacy Boxer Rescue, which is where we got Cody from, and I look forward to being able to help them. If we can get them some dog food to feed all the rescues that they have and this sort of thing, it's a big help for them, because they all work on a purely voluntary basis, and it's a big expense running a rescue operation for dogs.
I'm going to go further in that, Graham. I know a lot of veterinarians, charitable organizations that support animals. There will be a huge huge opportunity for them to get involved, because we know dogs and it's not just dogs, it's every animal in the world that is struggling. So that's going to be good. But the reason I brought that up is because, and unfortunately Jim Wagner's not on today's call. I've asked him to come in, and I've actually been little off this week with an illness. But bottom line to the deal is Jim has shared his story with different church groups that he's involved with. I don't think he's gone to Liberty University yet. I know him and Richard, I believe, are going to work as a team to do that. But bottom line to the deal is they really have taken this very, very warm and welcome, because they say, okay, so we can actually get our congregation that can play, and there's that extra 10%. So they're getting double hit. They're getting that 10% plus they're getting the opportunity as a natural. So if you guys have got any organizations that you want to talk to, obviously, I'm sure Paul will make himself available. I know I'll make myself available, but more importantly, Jim Wagner, that's kind of done 2 presentations this week, has had a very, very good response, guys. So, Kelly, can you go back to, or Graham, it doesn't matter who helps here. What is the failure? And people say, Dave, you come up with some of these craziest questions, but if you can't find out a problem, you can't fix it, in my opinion. What is the failure in building teams in other groups, whether it's We Share Abundance or Kelly, whether it's whatever you're doing, or Peter? What creates the failure? Is it lack of interest? Is it not the support? What are we challenged here to give the best? Because if we can get this foundation right, the wall will go up straight, the roof will go on square. So what is the failure we deal with in anytime building organizations? Anybody want to step up and let us know?
I feel they're not the follow-up. They're just, it's not a numbers as in join and forget about. I think it's the follow-up, the relationship. They become a part of a community, and the community is what builds that business really. When someone feels a part of a community, they're united and they push forward for more. And that's, I think, too, where I was going to mention too, where your winner's circle, that is building each other as well, and giving back in a great impact. But coming back to that question, following up with your people, being there, being that friend, that's what people want, so that the community building and follow up is what I would say.
Graham, what's your take? And you never pull any punches, Graham. So what is the failure that we need to focus on to help?
That most people don't want to make the effort to get involved in talking to people with the potential of being refused. They take it as a personal thing, a rejection against them. So unless you have people that have that resistance to the refusal, because you're always going to get people saying no to you, then they're not going to continue building a team or anything else. My personal experience is that about 1 in 7 people will give it a go for a while, but they won't last. About 1 in 7 of the 1 in 7 will build a team. So you're looking at something like 2% only that actually will build a team, because they will go through the barriers and they'll take the rejection and they'll see the results from putting in the effort. But most people are not in enough pain to, it's the old story of, why is your dog howling? He's sat on a nail. Well, why don't he move? Well, I guess it don't hurt enough, And that is the same with people. They're in a comfort zone and they don't want to get out of that because they can't see the results. And even if, I've spent a lot of time in the multi-level marketing industry back in the 1980s and 1990s, before the internet, and I've sat with people and we phoned people up, and while I've sat with them, and I've phoned one, and they phoned one, and I phoned one, they phoned one, and they've got 10 people left on the list. And I say, okay, can you go through those now? And I'll get on to somebody else. And they say, oh, yeah. And when you go back to them, you say, what results did you get from those 10? Well, actually, I didn't phone them. While you're there with them, holding their hand, they'll do it, but they won't. It doesn't hurt enough for them to do it on their own, and that is a fact. And so there is only a certain number of people that will build a team, and it's about 2% in the end. But about 1 in 7 will give it a go. The other 6 are not going to do anything anyway.
Right. So, Graham, let me stop you there because I want to share something here. I'm going to put it in the chat box so you guys can all read it at once. So right now it should have showed up in the chat box. So we've done obviously, Graham, I think I'm bad enough with numbers, meaning want to back up everything with numbers, but Paul's even more than me. So the research showed on the rewards program of $100 billion industry globally, okay? It also showed that the loyalty-based incentives reaches out and indicates that 87% of the consumers are more likely to patronize that business offering. So, guys, I think if we can get the point across that it is a reward program, that 2% you're talking about, Graham, or that person that is hesitant to go and share something, we've got to get that that across. This is a reward program. It's not a business as such going out to build a business. What you're building is longevity of day-to-day necessities. Of course, now there is some residual to come in, some referral bonus, but can we use the points, Graham? And again, this is an open format today, so guys, good, bad, and ugly, we're going to discuss it. Graham, can we use the points as an incentive to go and talk to somebody? Can we create them that then they can take that points and go and then bid on something to win it? In other words, rather they don't, basically what you just said is getting that drive to get somebody to actually, I hate to say it this way, but you know me by now, get off their butt and go and do something, whether it's a fear issue or whether it's not believing in the product or whatever. Can we use the points?
First of all, that statistic you've put up there doesn't refer to people building or referring anything. It just
Correct.
says that people that are in rewards program are more likely to support the business.
Correct.
So it has nothing to do with referring other people and building a team.
100%.
And it doesn't matter how big the reward is. If people start getting rejected, they stop referring.
Mm-hmm.
So what you basically just said, if somebody does not win in the bid auction, then they're going to stop referring.
No. What I'm saying is, when somebody starts going out and people say, "Oh no, I'm not interested in that," and it happens 2 or 3 times, they won't do it anymore.
Okay, so offering the opportunity for individuals to come in through the round robin when we reopen and we set our date, that means that these individuals will fall under those individuals that won't refer. When they start to see points coming in from other people, will that trigger them to go and continue referring, or are we wasting them points and referral?
I doubt it will encourage them to go out referring. They'll be happy to accept the points, but I don't think they're going to do anything.
Right, and you know how our feelings are.
I'm talking about. I've got. I first started in multi-level marketing, I think, in 1984, and I've measured statistics in various companies. I've been a top producer in 3 different companies before the internet came out. Not the top, but a top in 3 different multi-level marketing organizations. I've done all the bits on the stage and all the rubbish, that went with it. And I've measured the statistics all the way through. I've had my own multi-level marketing company because I thought it would do better. I've measured everything. And what I've just told you about that 1 in 7 and 1 in 7 is rung true all the way through, right from 1984 to today. And I don't think there is much of a way around it. I'm hoping that if people do all start winning by getting something, whether it's a grocery basket or a car cleaning kit or whatever it may be, a packet of dog food, I'm hoping that they'll talk to people about it. Because if they talk to people about it, then they will start arousing curiosity, and that's fine. People will talk all day about something that they enjoy and they really love, like going to the cinema. A lot of people go to the cinema regularly and they'll talk about a film. They'll say, "Don't go and see that, it was rubbish," or they'll go ecstatic about something else and recommend it to everybody because it's something that they enjoy, they're fully involved in. If they can get that way about Rewards Ripple, then you will improve those numbers. But it's unlikely.
But really, Graham, that comes down to fear. I mean, it's false evidence appearing real, and it's an acronym. If somebody goes to see that movie and they haven't got the knowledge because they were on the cell phone all the way through it and missed half the movie, then they don't want to talk about it. But if somebody focused on the movie and it's a good movie, if it's a bad movie, like you say, they say it's rubbish. But if it's a good movie, they go and share it. So what Kelly is basically saying, and you as well, I'm sure Peter, is we got to have this follow-up of knowledge base to give people to understand what it is so that they can understand it, have no fear, and then go forward and refer it. Is what we're all saying here. It's basically follow up. It's to stay with your team builders rather than just release them. Graham, you and I and Peter, I'm sure, and Kelly, we all know that when you go out and start building teams, there is a certain amount of percentage that do something, and a certain amount of percentage are just looking for the easy way out. We know that. These are not words that are going to offend anybody, but we know that. What we got to do is focus on how do we get these people that have not succeeded in the past able to bid and get rewarded, and now rewarding a charity at the same time. That's what we got to focus on, which is follow up videos, knowledge base to be more successful. I mean, that's what I'm getting from you.
People enjoy playing games. I don't, but I mean, most people do. And I think most people will get in there and they'll play your match it game. And if they're into card games and things, they'll probably play some poker or blackjack or whatever else. They enjoy it and they've got the time to do it, and it's a pastime that they enjoy. And if they get points for that and they bid the points and they start getting rewards for it, then possibly they will spread the news a little bit more. I've got nothing against the people that, I've talked about this 1 in 7 and 1 in 7. I've got nothing against the other 6 out of that 7.
But Graham, let me ask
I'm happy for them to get in and take what they can out of it and understand that it's just not everybody's cup of tea. But I've never ever seen figures that vary much from those numbers that I've given you.
So let me ask you this:
when I had my own MLM, I started it particularly to break these figures and make them better. And we had a mailing system where we would actually mail out to people throughout the United States with personalized letters in their name to help them build a business. And it improved the results by like about 0.5%.
So let me ask you this, and I don't want to put you on a spot, and you don't have to respond, especially on a live call, but that 1 in 7, is it the same with every product, or is it a different 1 in 7 that acts? In other words, are you finding the same leaders, and when you take out, it's the same 6 people aren't doing anything, or does that rotate on the product? That will help me understand better.
I don't think it's related to the product, and it's not necessarily the same the same people. You can't say if I introduce 7 people, one of them's going to start doing something, and if I introduce 35, then I'm going to get 5 people doing something, and that it might be that you introduce 1 person and you hit one of those pearls, one of those treasures that actually wants to do it and goes out and does it and sees the advantages and does everything. And there's a statistic, I think, that people talk about an average of 2.8 referrals per opportunity or something like that. The average is 2. But that average of 2.8 is because some people go out and put 1,000 people in, and a lot of people don't put any in. And
no, I from what I understand, when I was very big into network marketing, it was 2.7. So I'm actually glad I'm hearing if you're saying it's gone up, because that 2.7 to 2.8 is a big difference when you're building. Kelly, coming to you, and then back over to Peter.
I've got to go now anyway. I'm sorry, okay, but I have to go. I'm
no, have a good thing.
Have a good weekend, Graham.
God bless you all, and I pray every day for the success of Ripple Rewards to help people throughout the world, and to help them to help their local environment through the charitable side. God bless.
Thanks, ma'am. Appreciate it. So, Kelly, coming to you, can you tell me basically, what troubles you've had in previous? What we're trying to find out on this call is
sorry to cut you short, darling. I think it comes also down to intentions, to answer your question, what you're about to ask. Like the intentions, are they coming on as just a player? and then willing to, when they see the results, go and share more then? Or are they willing to come on as a movement, which we are hoping that everybody comes on as a movement and wanting to share and build teams? I think those who come on with the intention of just playing the game, having some points to help their family, electricity bill or pay their rent or buy some groceries. And as they see that momentum happening with the proof of the auction, they will definitely go out and share it amongst their neighborhood, which will definitely cause that ripple effect. So I think determining the intentions of the person that you're referring. For example, I would have some friends here in Australia that I have referred. They will be in it for the game purpose only, but they do not have the time. Many people are time poor to go out and recruit. So they're coming in on a different angle than to being a recruiter, but they would love to play the game. They would love to help support. They love to help support charities. So I think the intentions need to be clear with who you're introducing to. And that could be just with some few questions at the beginning when you're talking to them. Some of them I know already. But that can be the process as well. So that's where you build your team. Some will be coming in, especially if we're able to receive commissions for a referral basis. That's going to start the affiliate marketing side. Then once you promote the affiliate marketing, then you have two different kind of teams that you work with, and you deal with those on that nurturing level of both. And one team might then venture into the others. And it's not division, it's just different values of what their intentions are.
Right. So let me do this. I'd like, and Kelly, you're disappeared. I don't know why.
I know. I'm in a dark room. It's 4:00 in the morning here on Sunday.
Well, thank you for joining. And I know we don't want to drag this long, but Peter, you're obviously a networker. You're somebody that believes in a product that you get behind. You go out and share it. Let me see, guys. I disagree. I mean, I hate to say this because I don't want to get myself in a discussion that could go the wrong way or whatever. But I disagree. I think if there's something that people can do for free, and that somebody has got the knowledge of it, and they understand that they can't win every time. It's only going to be 20% of winners each day, right? I mean, we've already said that. That's going to be the number we're shooting for, 20%. So it's a number game. But if they see real products and they say, okay, I've got a food basket that's arrived this week, and it's got, everything from meats to rice to whatever, a $200 value food basket, and that's going to arrive for the next 4 weeks. I don't know why they would not go straight out of that door and share it with every cousin, second cousin, family member, work. So I don't believe this is a network marketing program as such. I think the 2.7 or 2.8 or the 1.7, my gut tells me once this is announced around the world, this be a way to help feed people. And I think you're going to find from third world countries to even the US, people are going to jump on this because everybody needs the support. Everybody gets behind on rent. Everybody gets behind on credit card payments. Don't matter who you are, unless you're one of those 1% of fortunate people. So I think it's us as a family, as a team, got to get the word out to the world how this works. And I do believe you'll see 10 million players, 100 million players, and more as we move forward.
I agree with you. Once that happens, that ripple effect will happen in communities. They will be wanting to tell their schools. They will be wanting to tell their neighbors, hey, I just won this. Hey, I've got a month free rent. That is the ripple effect that's going to go into neighborhoods and to people they know. Joining that way with that intention, which is what I was saying, though, are they going to get on and be a network marketer online? Possibly not. But this is where you have your team building for you. This is where you have that. You see the two categories. So you've got the ripple effect of neighborhood, sharing with their loved ones, sharing with their family, sharing with their community, going to their church and saying even to their churches and schools. That, yes, most definitely. Are they going to be online? This intention, reaching out and marketing like we do all day? Maybe not. Just to be honest.
No, I think you've got to be. And I think a lot of that comes down to people receiving rewards, the bidding on something. The one thing that we have to address is like, and I'm sure Peter knows this most probably more than the average person because he lives in Las Vegas. You know, people are literally coming to Las Vegas, Peter will tell you, on a $200 million jet. And people are leaving Las Vegas on a $200,000 Greyhound bus. In other words, they come here with all the money in the world.
Lost everything.
And they've lost everything in Las Vegas. Their belief is, I'm going to be a winner. What we got to make sure people understand is this is a patient game that your 20% number will come up sooner or later. You bid on items that make sense for you. It's all free. You're playing in a magic game. I mean, the magic game could give you 1,500 points, or you might end up getting 75 points. It just depends. But when you're hitting them numbers, they are points, and you've got to bid on something. You might not have enough points to outbid Peter. And all of a sudden, Kelly says, "Oh, I should have done more." So we got to educate people. We got to show them how it works to give them a higher probability of winning than what it does. Do you see where I'm coming from, Peter?
And I think that will come in play too. Yeah. And I do agree with you. Yeah.
I think you guys as leaders have got to somehow, we as a team, we've got to come up with a solution, whether it's more videos, whether it's websites, that, you know, all the stuff we're working on. But we need you guys out there. You're dealing with this day to day. What we don't want to do is leave anybody behind. I mean, that's just it. I don't want somebody to sign up. You know, here's one for you guys. You most probably know. Out of the 2,800 people that is signed up, or 4,200, whichever way you want to look at it, okay, we are doing calls on Saturdays. We should be blasted. This should be full. So that already means that 1 in 7, what Graham's talking about, them other 6 aren't here. So we need to fix that problem through this next growing pain over the next couple of weeks, where we get all the terms and conditions finished off. We need to cover that, give the tools we need to get people to do it. I mean, you know, there's a big old saying around the world that, you know, it's too good to be true when something's free. Okay. Well, we got to get that point. This isn't free. Time is money.
Yeah.
You got to play, whether it's 20 minutes a day or 20 minutes every other day. You got to play to get points. So we need to make sure that we don't mislead people. That's the one thing that we want to be focused on. Peter, what's your input, brother?
No, I believe the way Ripple Rewards is set up, we would have less resistance to people joining or even sharing with others. If the rewards come soon, people will be committed to keep participating, and the readiness of someone to share with another is based on the incentive that they get sharing with other people. When the benefit is high, they will go out there and share, and that's what I believe that
So I'm an old guy, right? And you guys are young and beautiful. So let me ask you this. Back in my day in network marketing, we used to have meetings Tuesdays and Thursdays. Do you think in this particular program, a once a week meeting in your local neighborhoods would be worthwhile? In other words, Peter, if I turn around and book a meeting room at, say, the Hilton next week in, you know, or Sunset Casino or wherever, if I booked a meeting room, could we begin and then start bringing people? I mean, I've built them rooms to where people are standing in the hallways outside. They can't even get in the room. Do you think that is something that could work to get the knowledge across to people to understand
it would work. It would work. The people need the information, and they need the right information from the right people and see the results.
So what we could do, just talking out loud, guys, and I don't know how many's on the chat box or whatever listening around the world, but what I was talking to you guys, what we could do is very simply, obviously we've got to get it approved from Paul, but we could basically say for every guest you bring in, you get X amount of points, 10, 50 or whatever, which would create them to bring somebody because they got 100 points to go and bid on an item. So we could create a report sheet that you would sign up on the computer. They put their name and information in as they showed up that says, okay, I'm putting time and effort into this. And even if they don't sign up and do anything, I'm getting 100 points. So I'm getting rewarded because I can get groceries. I mean, do you think old style might work well? Because let's be honest, digital marketing has changed over the years dramatically. You know, it's now people say less is better. Well, you know,
it would work, and I believe we are building a strong and large database. And if we are not able to reach these people to remind them, we would lose a lot of them, because some people may not check their emails very often, and they do see text messages that come in. So if there's a way to remind all these people through maybe email and text right to their phone, we would have a little bit more engagement and participation. And yeah, that's it.
No, I think, guys. I mean, obviously, what today was about, you know, Paul wanted to put this together, and Paul would normally be on here.
And if we have a schedule that it's well known and everybody knows that this day, this time, this is what is going on, I think many people will be able to walk around their schedule and decide which of them the events they would like to be on.
Paul, for Peter, for people that you know in town, would you be better off having some on the west side or east side if I booked a meeting room?
It doesn't really matter. I can go everywhere anytime in Las Vegas.
Okay. All right, so I'll start to work on a meeting room, and then what we can do as a team, you and I can work that and then give some results to Kelly and anybody else who's listening and say, okay, it's succeeding. We can most probably, if you remember, when we went out to India, to Mumbai, we done that live webinar. We most probably could do that live as well, Peter, as people come in. So I'll start working on that this week. Obviously, I need to get Paul. Just so you guys know, Paul is I don't know if he's going to come back on or not. I'm sure he will. But Paul's gone through a rough week this week with what issues he has, his medical issues. So he asked me to jump on in and do this call with you guys today. But bottom line is, I think that we may need to relook of getting that knowledge into somebody, so the fear has disappeared. Once we can do that, then all of a sudden we're in a situation where that knowledge becomes achievable. And I think once we get this going, I mean, Peter, it's horrible if you drive downtown here and you go over by Jerry's Nugget. I mean, I see 1,000 people in Las Vegas that are homeless, living in underclothes. I mean, if people knew what it was like here in America, really, then, you know, I can't imagine what it can be like in third world countries that are going through also challenging, not just third world living, but I'm on about the ones what are even under the third, you know, people who don't have a job, the homeless. I mean, it's absolutely crazy. If we could get them on board here, the greatest thing about it is they're planning doing something for a cause. So anyway, I'm excited, guys. I really am.
Just so you know, Dave, I don't have any problem reaching any part of the town, but if you want to look for a location, if it's more central, it will be better, such that anybody from any part of Las Vegas can show up there.
So what about Henderson? Would that be too far away, do you think?
Henderson a little bit far away from for most people, I guess. Yeah.
There's a Holiday Inn in Henderson that gives us a meeting room because we do charity work. So that would save us paying for a meeting room. But let me see what I can do this week. Our offices are off of Dean, so maybe we can even do it on Dean, which is really right next to the stadium. So that should be easy. Yeah. All right, guys, why don't you say thank you to all the people who have been listening and give them any encouragement you can. We'll start with the ladies first, Kelly, and then go over to you, Peter, and then we'll wrap the call for today, guys. We've been on longer than expected, but we got a lot going on. When we're getting support from fellow philanthropists like we are, and the light bulb's gone off of what we're doing, that, hey, you're not just asking somebody for money. This person's participating and getting rewarded. i.e., think of
Yeah.
the name, rewards. That's what it's about. There's a ripple effect, and we're coming up with a solution. Okay. And the solution is to get the word spread around the world that more and more people playing this, more and more people we can help. So this is a win-win situation. Kelly, give closing remarks, and then you and I will talk over the weekend and see how we can start putting a training program together to really help people.
I look forward to that, Dave. Thank you very much. Thank you, everyone, for being on the call. Hopefully that you are all very, very excited, as this will benefit a lot of people's lives. So let's get excited, and thank you for being here. Have a wonderful weekend. Bye-bye.
Thanks, Cal. And Peter, why don't you say to not only your people on here, but anybody else listening, any remarks, anything you would like to share with them?
Sure. I will start by thanking you and Paul for bringing this opportunity of Ripple Rewards. And I would like to thank everybody who has joined and on board today to listen to what we've talked about, and just let them know that, together we are stronger, and together we can make a world a better place. And let's do things together to help one another and help bring more value to people. Thank you.
Thank you, guys. And we really appreciate it. Amen to you, and obviously blessing to both of you. Right. Let's go ahead and wrap this call up, guys. For people that just got on the call, we've had a tremendous amount of information this last week. Please go back and re-watch this video. I would encourage you to go and watch the beginning of this video and share it with your friends so people understand how big this thing's becoming. Yes, the site is down. There is no sign up at the moment until Paul gives me the approval to reopen that. And he's waiting for approval from the attorneys on the database, on the terms and conditions. They have told us it will take up to 30 days. Paul, I have heard him say that they're ahead of schedule. That doesn't mean to say that we're going to get reopened ahead of the schedule. We are allowing you pioneers who have signed up already to be able to start doing some testing as early as this week coming, because we were going to originally do the auction site. We will be putting real product on the auction site, so you guys will be able to bid against that. Obviously, you're going to need points, and you're going to run out of points. So I'm going to talk to Paul and see if we can perhaps get people who post on our Facebook page, some comments and stuff. Maybe we can give out some points to encourage more people to the Facebook page, YouTube. So I'll talk to Paul about that, and then we'll get you an email out. But he's here. Paul, how you doing, brother? How you feeling, man? I know you're going through a rough one today.
I'm okay. Thank you for being here for me today, Dave, and taking the lead on this. I'm just suffering at the minute, and my train of thought isn't very clear because of the pain that I'm in. So I didn't want to come on board and lose where I was up to, and not be able to communicate clearly with everyone. So thank you, Dave, for taking the lead. Thank you, Peter, Graham and Kelly for coming on board. Very insightful. I've got some notes, and I'm going to be working on a few things that I will discuss with Dave as the lead of the team of the programmers, because I don't want to come up with an idea and say, can we? I'd rather come up with an idea and send on to you guys and say, this is what we're going to do. So yeah, I've taken a lot from today's call. So thank you everyone for attending.
Paul, one of the things that what we can do, brother, is we need to test that like and the banner situation on some of the social sites. So maybe you can put some thoughts together over the weekend, give me some direction on Monday. What we could do is, because there's so many people who don't have enough points. There's a lot of people on this call, I can guarantee, haven't even signed somebody up. And now we're closed till they can get new signups. They're not going to be able to get them 5 points. So maybe what we can do is you let me know what, but maybe 20 points for this, 30 points for that, 50 points or something.
We have all the social medias which are in the link tree. So the people that are already signed up on the dashboard, if they've not got the link tree link for us, I'll make sure that gets put up. If you can get your team to do that in the dashboard, either in the notifications or at the bottom of the script at the top. And then we'll have a conversation about how we can reward people for going to each of the social sites, liking, following, commenting. and how we track that to make sure they get points and what level of points we're going to give them. Because the team that you've got, Dave, it's fantastic, but everyone's so busy. I don't want to give you guys more work. So I know things rely on. Again, I'm not a coding person. Is it API to get the confirmation back? Is that the right terminology, Dave?
The API, yes. So everybody knows what an API is. Automatic program interface. It takes from one language to a different language, from a mobile language to a web-based language, or API. We are waiting for approval from Facebook. I think there was an issue. We had to have a certain amount of people to make it a business account. That was one of the problems. I know the YouTube API has already been done, and I know we're working on a couple of other ones with 360. Normally APIs companies would tell you it'll take a week, 2 weeks to do them. We're knocking them out in about 2 days, depending on how challenging they are. But yeah, Paul, I mean, obviously Monday we'll go through a complete schedule for next week and go from there. But look, we need more of these calls to help people understand. That's something I can tell you, brother. I've been business and doing things with you for many years. What I'm seeing here today is a common problem with network marketing, and this is not network marketing. This is far from network marketing. This is so much more rewarding. And then adding this opportunity to receive a residual money also makes it, you got 1,000 people under you that are paying, $5 a month, and you're picking up 10%. That all of a sudden, that's a very nice mailbox residual money coming in. So
yeah,
that's
we're trying to work on something that's got a little bit of something for everyone. Because when people realize the power of what you and your team have put together, it's all well and good having a concept. It's been able to complete on that. Once people realize the power of this, there's something in this for everybody, and it's from the individual person and their needs all the way through to the massive charity and their needs and everyone in between. It's not just a case of this one thing is going to help one person. The idea is that it's got multiple levels to it, and people are just going to get so much out of one deed because
but Paul, just what Jim Wagner's done this week, talking to groups of, I'm not sure how many people in them group, but I heard numbers of over 1,000 people. You got one church group that's going to push this. You got 1,000 people that are donating 10% of whatever they get into your church, and you're getting points that you can do all kinds of. I mean, once this takes off on the charity side, meaning the non-profit side, it's huge. It's monstrous. So what we want to do is get the people involved so they can share the word. Paul, I'm going to split right now. I just want to say thank you to you, and obviously you take care of your health. It's important. But I'm going to jump off, let you close the call down. Don't forget, we got the Tuesday night training, and I'll get together with Kelly, and we'll put some form of training together to get people more educated about the program. So we'll do a PowerPoint presentation that includes this, and I'll get working on some video stuff as well. But I'm going to hand it over to you, Paul, to close up, and then please get some rest. Please take it easy over the weekend, and I'll talk to you on Monday, brother.
Okay, thank you very much. And again,
you're welcome. Thanks, guys. God bless to all of you. And I'll see you on Tuesday night training. Sorry about last Tuesday, but I was very, very ill. But thanks for Paul stepping up and taking care of it. But guys, I'll see you on Tuesday, 8:00 New York time, for an overview of the company and a training. Thanks, Paul. Take care. God bless.
Cheers. Okay. I see that we've got one question so far. I'm going to answer a couple of questions, and then I'll close the call out. So one question I've seen came from Julia. One of the team wants to know if he can bring on a charity on board and be part of the charities that we will pick to support. The way that we're going to do this is initial conversations through emails, and then we'll have calls, because it depends on the size of charity, and that's the way we're going to play it. So if you want to get in touch through the info@rewardsripplesolutions.com email address, then we can start a conversation, because there's certain checks that we need to do to make sure that we're a fully registered charity. It also depends on what country the charity is based in, on the regulations that we need to follow. So it's not just as simple as them going into a simple sign-up process. So yeah, we need to have a proper look at them and see the type of charity and other aspects to make sure that we can actually service them well enough. Just having a quick flick through to see if there's any other questions. Seen one saying he moved from the States and gone to Dubai. Again, this is web-based, so you can download the app when that gets launched, but it is web-based, so as long as you've got an internet connection, you can go on, you can take part in this as well. Yeah, I think that's all the questions. So I'd just like to thank everyone for joining the call today. Really appreciate it. And we will keep you updated on everything that's coming up and make sure that you've got all the information that you need. Again, thank you all for joining and enjoy the rest of your weekend. I'll just check the last few comments just to make sure. Yeah, no, we're all good. Okay, guys, I'm going to draw this to a close. Thank you again. Take care, everyone. Enjoy your weekend.